the way to New York, Jeannie was listening to the new album Stages. But even with a 75-piece orchestra behind him, you can't beat Josh live.
Hi, how are you? Great to see you.
So good
Welcome
to
to New
see
York.
you. Wow, thank you. What an amazing city.
What an amazing city.
Wow, it's so good
Have
to
you
be
had fun here so far?
I have had a ridiculous amount of fun so
Awesome.
far.
Thanks for coming to my rehearsal here in New York.
You're actually the only artist in the world that I would travel across the world to
the
go
one?
and see.
No pressure.
Yeah, just the one. I don't say it to any of the other artists.
I appreciate you. I've got to say, it's a much more beautiful setting coming to see you in Cape Town with a nice view of the water and everything. I'm sorry for the bleakness of this room, but you have to go neutral tones when you're rehearsing because you have to be nothing to become something, I think.
What are you rehearsing for?
We've got a lot of promo coming up for this new record, and basically these songs are all kind of very athletic vocally. So anytime you're preparing for a lot of travel and a lot of singing, it's important that you go to a room like this and just sing and sing and sing and sing. It's like the gym. It's like the gym's not very attractive either, but you got to go and you got to work out, and eventually you get yourself in a place that no matter what time zone you're in, you can go and hopefully knock it out of the park.
As an athlete would need to train their body, do you need to train your voice in the same way?
It's very similar, and there are times where I get lazy for sure, and I want to live like a normal boy and live my life and not think about the fact that like my instrument is inside me, and I want to go out and have a drink and not think about singing for a month, and sometimes it gets tiring and you kind of rebel against it. And then all of a sudden you find yourself in front of a microphone and you're like, I should have. It's like lifting that weight again after not lifting it. But you do it because when you are in front of an audience and feel like you're loving it and they're loving it and you're connecting, that's what makes it all worth it.
I've been interviewing you probably for the past 10 years. Does the novelty ever wear off?
Of being interviewed by you? Never. No. God, come on. Don't sell yourself short.
Do you still enjoy it?
Yeah, I always look forward to it.
But the novelty of being a superstar and, being able to perform the way you do.
It doesn't. There are moments of frustration, of course. There are moments of sacrifice and annoyance even. But as soon as it's 5 minutes to showtime, as soon as you step foot on that stage and you feel that audience who's there for the first time, it goes away. And then you find new ways to enjoy it again. I think that that's the great thing about creative energy, is that it constantly inspires you to move forward and try new things. And so when you're on the road and you feel like, I'm really sick of singing this song or that song, so then go write. So I'll go sit at the piano in my dressing room, and usually great songs will come from that frustration, and then you say, okay, well, that was me moving forward today. Now I can go out and I can sing my song, yeah.
The summers die one by one, how soon they fly on and on, and I am old and will be gone.
So you've got a new album coming out. Tell us everything.
This is an album that I've really wanted to make since I was very little. My parents took me to see great shows when I was very young. I grew up in Los Angeles, and it's interesting that it took me 7 albums to finally record an album of this music, because this music is so classic. I was studying musical theater when I got signed. These songs have been in my heart for such a long time. Broadway and West End has always been a dream of mine. So to finally have a chance to kind of take off the writing hat for a minute, take off the how do I do something new and fresh hat for a minute, and think about the interpretation of these great classics was a challenge in itself, a great responsibility, but also just a breath of fresh air for me, because it was nice to feel like the fans actually wanted these songs. Because all this time I thought to myself, I could make the album of musical theater songs, but that would be a passion project for me. It would just be something that would be for me and kind of self-indulgent. But show after show after show, fans were saying, when are you going to make that album? And every time I dipped my feet in those waters and would do one concert here or there, did chess at Albert Hall or whatever, they'd say, please do this more.
Absolutely.
And I thought, well, maybe we're all theater geeks together. Maybe we all love these songs, and maybe it is actually the right time to record it.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look and you'll see into your imagination.
Where does your love of Broadway come from?
It got me from the moment I came here for the first time at 17 years old, and I started seeing shows here, and truly you haven't seen a show until you've seen a Broadway show. There's just something about the productions here, the casts here, that just takes it to another level, and it's just inspiring.
I'd actually love to hear these songs being played at Kirstenbosch Gardens.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
That would be
With
amazing.
The Table Mountain in the background.
So what are your favorite songs on the album?
My favorite songs on the album, if I look at my is what happens when you're a big deal. You get your name in gold.
Wow, that is
your name
so
in gold
important.
on a binder. No biggie. No big whoop. Some days I just walk in and I go, what will I sing
Today.
What will I sing today out of my binder, my big binder?
Home, Charles, don't spare the horses.
Yes, this is actual gold leaf, is it not? Yes, they spelled my name right this time. I don't know. My favorite songs, you know, the songs that have kind of a nostalgic, full circle feeling for me are really special. All I Ask of You from Phantom of the Opera was the first song I ever sang for David Foster, ever. So to be able to, you know, stand at Abbey Road and sing that song with the full orchestra for my 7th album, it's just, you know, I don't often pat myself on the back. I generally kind of am very self-critical and move forward to the next thing. But there are moments where I'm just like, you did good, kid. You did all right. And that was one of them. I'm also a big Sondheim fan. And anytime you can tell his stories as nobody else can tell them but him, you know, it's always a thrill. So Children Will Listen, Finishing the Hat. I just love his work, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for chatting to us. I feel ridiculously privileged today that I get to watch you rehearse.
We do actually have a little bit of work to do today, and you're welcome to hang around and hear us, you know, warble a little bit.
Josh chose from his special binder the anthem from Wizard of Oz.